Hello, in this video we explore again Firouzja's magic and how he can create top chances and wins against top players in Blitz. So first game I want to go through is against Wesley So. So we have Alireza with white and he can play all sorts of opening and he's really creative in the middle game. So here what we have is E3, which is kind of a sideline system, and here B3. So trying to go bishop b2 with the two bishops, creating some potential changes on the diagonal. Now the game continues here, and in the opening here, actually black has a trick, take, and b5, because there's a pin here, and black is gonna win back the piece. Now the game continues, and I like to go directly on move 15. So now the position is about equal. We have three minor pieces on each side, the rooks are on the board, it's white to play. And one of the very key features of Firouzja, he's not afraid of tactics and he's trying to create imbalances. He's trying to create a change in the position, a rupture, and trying to create asymmetry. And how does he do that here? D4, D5. Now, this pawn is taken by Wesley So. Clearly, you cannot recapture because you have a pin here. What was Firouzja's idea? He takes here, followed by queen d5. And you can see he has created a change in the position with the queen being right advanced here. He also have two knights versus two bishops. So the position is very unclear here. And now the game continues a little bit. And here black capture a pawn, right? Attacking the queen over here. So what was white idea? Taking here. And here, the ideal move for black would be to take with the queen. However, if you do that, you lose because the bishop is dropping. So in this position, only move taking here. Now the queen moves and Wesley So grab a second pawn. So technically, if he can survive here, he will win with black. But look at that king, look at these pawns. You can see there's gonna be some attacking chances. So the game continues, and again, I want to go to the critical moment. So in this position, Wesley So is trying to win with the pass pawn here, but 94 played. With the idea coming here, maybe check over here. So Wesley gives a check here, the king moves, and queen c7. Obviously, black would be very happy to exchange queens because in the end game, it's pretty clear that black has a lot of chances. So once again, very creative play by Alireza. Check, bishop blocks, and queen takes f6. Not exchanging the queen, and clearly we can see the attack is raging on. So f4 played, and now sack, check. Where does the king go? It turns out that this was the right move, but Wesley So blundered here. But how you do finish, right? You have an attack, you done an exchange. What is the finish? And you need to know your tactics, calculate fast, and Firouzja is extremely skilled at that. And here, very quickly, he played check. Now the king moves, and Wesley So is happy for a draw, right? To keep checking back and forth. However, here, knight f5, and black resign. So you're trading checkmate in g7, and if you try just to cover, right, this way, then how do you win? Check, check, checkmate. Now, knight f5, it's a great finish. If you try to do a check, simply g3, and then again, how do you stop the checkmate? You have to do d6 or d5, and then knight e7 is the right way to go. So in this game, we can see that starting from the middle game, there was creating a lot of imbalances here, and eventually white won. Let's go to the next example. In the second game, Alireza starts with one e4. Who is he facing? Legendary player Danya a very strong grandmaster playing on chess.com all the time. This is a 3 minutes Blitz game. Now they go for the Spanish, right? The Ruy Lopez, very common here. Now here the main move is of course castle, but d3, once again we see a theme. Firouzja is not going for 20 moves theory, trying to get the pieces out and play a new game as soon as possible. And here he goes c4. That's not very typical, right? You could do c3, knight b2, knight f1, knight g3. That's been played hundreds of times. c4, slightly unusual. The piece comes out. Now bishop g4, and I think black is doing fine so far. Now the game continues, and here f5. I do like that move actually. So Danya is trying to take over here. Then if you take back, you have a lot of pressure on that knight. So what do you do, right? Knight d5, f5, very interesting. h3 played, Danya takes, and here you may have double pawn with white. So I was expecting d takes e4, but no, imbalance again. So white takes here, black takes the knight, and you take back like that. Why is it a change in structure? Well, not only you have double pawns, but you have a pawn on g4. So the structure is very asymmetrical once again. That's a key theme. Now Danya plays knight f6, and here king g2. What is the idea? We're gonna see that in a moment. What's white's next move? Rook h1. So yes, it looks like the white king may be in danger, but rook h1 kind of like targeting this h7 pawn. Well, black goes back here, d4 striking in the center, so Naroditsky take, queen g4. The queen is once again in the center. Another key theme. In the previous game, the queen was on d5. Here, the queens get activated on d4, while the black queen is still on the starting square. Yet, bishop f6, attacking the queen. And now the game's gonna end very soon. Queen e4. So here, the threat on h7 is real now. So, okay, g6 played. Now check, right? So now we can see as the king's move, right? We're gonna have some kind of like sack on h7. So rook f7 played. What is the brilliant move now? I think you guessed it. Your pieces for white are ready for the action. Rook take h7. Obviously, the king take, you're winning here. So Naroditsky tried queen e7, and after rook f7, black resigned. So clearly the only reasonable move would be queen f7, and here you pick up a piece and you are winning with white. So once again, everything started in this position and with h3 creating a lot of ideas, and with that structure here we got a lot of imbalance favoring white with a quick attacking chance. Let's go to our third example. In our third game, we're gonna see another opening. Obviously, Firouzja can play 1 e4, 1 d4, and here we have a Caro-Kann, which is supposed to be a fairly solid defense. Playing black is Jobava. He goes by Exotic Princess on chess.com, and he is a very strong grandmaster from Georgia. So here, knight c3 played, d5. What is the theory? Well, you can play knight f3. Hikaru Nakamura does that. Or you can play d3, not afraid to go in the endgame. But what is Alireza's choice here? Queen f3. Definitely a tricky move, right? And we're going to see that right away. So black pushes here. Bishop c4. Well, if you play too quickly, right, you're going to end up with a very nasty check here. Now grandmaster playing the black pieces, Jobava just play knight f6. Now knight moves, and we get the game. So once again, we have one more trend in, I would say, Firouzja's game. He's trying to develop his pieces quickly, as quickly as he can. So now let's continue developing another piece. The queen goes to g3, attacking e5, knight f3. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces developed. He's very quick at developing pieces. Black, well, not bad, but 1, 2, 3. Or he is behind. Castle played. Now the question is, what do you do with white here? So the king is in the center, right? So would you castle long? Would you castle short? Or would you play a different move? Would you, let's say, take on e5? What would you do here? The answer, none of that. Obviously, if you take on e5, then you're going to have a discovery with a knight. So you're going to do that. And here, Alireza play h4. Going straight, you can see the rook on h1, trying to open the h file and try to win as quickly as possible. In a previous game, we've seen the h file was a theme, right? In the Spanish opening against Naroditsky. And here, we're going to see how he does it. h5, continuing the plan. And of course, white cannot castle in order to quickly attack. Now, there's queen b2, and Jobava says, well, if you don't castle, I can have check, I can win the rook here. You have to be careful. So rook c1. Okay, check, take again. And now what to do? Now, you don't have any checkmate with the queen h4 because the knight guards here and the bishop guards the square. There's no checkmate yet. Now, knight g5 played. Can see the idea. Attacking f7. Rook e7 played. And now what do? Right? You have all your pieces in play and it's time to strike. And once again, Firouzja, one of the most gifted tacticians out there. And he takes, rook takes, queen g6, right? If he wins the rook, that's game over. Check. And the queen comes back to defend. Is black okay? Actually not. Check. And what is the finishing move? One move, 20th, white to play and win. And it didn't take long for Alireza to play rook h8. The king has to take and you win the queen. So once again, in this position, it all started with h4 and very quickly after opening the h file, Alireza find a way to quickly, finish the game, and black was not developed and got punished. So I hope you enjoyed these examples showing how dangerous Firouzja is the white pieces, regardless of the opening. And feel free to drop a comment, a like, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Thank you very much.